Hey loves, it's Chellbee. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, I am Chellbee, the blogger behind Chellbee.com. I'm so glad you can join me today. I hope you enjoyed today's faith video. We're actually going to be talking about marriage. I'm continuing on our Young Christian Wives series. And today we're going to talk a little bit about the importance of becoming one flesh. I will make sure to leave the blog post below, so make sure you guys check out the description box. There's going to be a blog post that will link to in that blog post in the description box. It's going to link to the full written version of this content, which you definitely want to read. There's a prayer in there, takeaways, and a lot more information, so definitely make sure you check out the blog post below. And I will also put in the description box the link to the previous video on being a young Christian wife where we talked about submission. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the video. We're going to start this video with Genesis 2:24. That is going to be the particular scripture that actually goes with the becoming one flesh. That's where kind of all this conversation started. Genesis 2:24. Therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. And the man and his wife were both naked and were not ashamed. So obviously, if you've read the Bible before, or even if you've been in church before, you have probably likely heard the story of Adam and Eve, and that's kind of where what is going on in this scripture. It's during the time of the creation of Eve. So today I really wanted to talk through like my main takeaways that I took from that verse and what I feel, how I feel like that can be applied to marriage life today. So one of the main takeaways that we could kind of easily discern from that verse was just how in particular for Adam and Eve, when Eve was created, she was created from Adam's rib. Of course, we all know that story. And so when she was created, they became one flesh, which also stood for them becoming a union or them becoming married. So that's how kind of the becoming one flesh was originally talked about. But now when it comes to marriage, that is also becoming one flesh, since obviously, we're not being created as women every single time we get married. So they kind of translate and are one and the same. Like marriage is becoming one with your husband, since Adam and Eve became one when Eve was created. One of the main things that it kind of very clearly states in that verse is just how the man and the woman are, it says man in that particular verse because Eve obviously doesn't have a family because she's being created, but in today's sense it would be a man and a woman where we leave our family to become one with our significant other. And I know that it kind of sounds odd and it might be scary, especially if you're young and you're getting married. The idea that you would leave your family behind, it's not necessarily to say like, that's no longer your family or, that relationship is over. It's more about leaving the past behind so that you can now walk into this new present day with your significant other, and you guys are creating your own family, and you guys become the most influential people to one another. Because when you think about your life prior to being married, probably the most influential person to you were your parents or maybe your siblings or maybe your friend. So once you get married, those people are no longer the first people that you go to, but instead it's your husband or your wife. So that's really what I took away from it. Is it's about the importance of your significant other becoming the most influential person in your life, and it really is about you guys becoming partners. And they use the term helpmate in particular in Genesis, and I know that most people will say, oh, that means, the woman's supposed to be subservient, or, it's about the woman being a cooking and cleaning, but that's really not what helpmate is about. The woman back then was responsible for cooking and cleaning because, the men were out scavenging and, doing whatever else that needed to be done physically, and so the way that a woman would help would be to cook and clean, you know, because the men were handling the other things that need to be done. But in today's society, or in today's time, how it really applies is just you supporting your significant other in whatever they're doing, whether it be, you know, their goals, whether it be them accomplishing something in their career, maybe they want to go back to school. It's about supporting one another and not necessarily about gender roles or you know, living in a certain tradition. I think helpmate is more just about understanding that you guys are now each other's support system. You nourish one another, you know, you nurture one another, you care for one another, and you make sure the other one is, you make sure each other are doing well. Another important part of being a helpmate, or the term helpmate, to me, that I feel like isn't necessarily talked about enough or focused on enough, is the companionship part. You know, back then, or during the time of this book, this verse in particular, Genesis 2:24, Adam and Eve were the only people on earth. So they literally were each other's companions. They were the only human contact for each other. So companionship is also a big part of, you know, being husbands and wives. You know, you guys are not only each other's partners, you're not only there to nurture each other, you're not only there to encourage each other, but you guys are also there to really be each other's companion, to be each other's partner, to be each other's friends. That's an important part of marriage. And one of my last takeaways from this verse was the importance of leaving the minds and yours behind for ours. It's no longer the my, or I have, or he has. It's now everything is ours. You're one. So there's nothing that's just yours, and there's nothing that's just his. Everything you guys have, everything you guys create, everything you guys, you know, build together is one, and it's yours together. So you guys are now an our, you are a we. There is no more me, there is no more him, her. It's one. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. The Young Christian Wives series is definitely something that is near and dear to my heart, and it's something that I want to continue to share and discuss with you guys, and I hope to expand upon it more in the future. So definitely be on the lookout for more content, not only on the blog but also here on the channel. If you have not followed Chellbee.com, make sure you click the description box below. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I can't wait to talk to you guys again next time. Be blessed and stay safe. Bye.